Hello, Commanders! Welcome to another day in Star Trek Fleet Command, video number 2 today. I wanted to put out another video today just because I know my next couple of days are kind of crazy and I wanted to get out some information. Things I've been able to discover that hopefully can help you if you're just like, I have no clue what to do with this. Now, some of you have that mentality, maybe like me, where you're already digging into and figuring some of this stuff out. But for those of you who are still struggling, hopefully this video will help you think about things that you can focus on. This is not a video to say 100% this is all the things that you need to focus on, step 1 to 100 of how to maximize your your loop, because I'm not quite there yet. But hopefully this will help you, point you to certain things to don't forget to do or to think about as you're working through the loop. Now, once again, this won't apply if you don't have the new ship, the new Enterprise ship. But if you're watching this later on, hopefully this will help you with things. You can bookmark this and watch this at a later date as well. So let's talk about the loop, shall we? Before I forget, if you're new or haven't done this yet, it's huge help, just an easy thing to do. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up, the like button, and the bell notification for to keep you updated on future content. Okay, so let me switch real quick here. Okay, so this is the loop, and because I've done some claims already, it's a little bit difficult on showing you some of the information, but here's the basic loop. I'll talk you through this here and warn you some of the pitfalls, things you want to be aware of as we go through it. Okay, so first off, you start by hitting the regular Xindi hostiles from last month. Those will give you Xindi scraps. That's the loot that they drop. And I know a lot of people are probably still struggling with that. Some have probably even given up on the loop itself. But you hit those, and then you use that loot to turn in for these tokens. And then if we hop back over to Star Trek. Alrighty, so you're going to have token systems this time, which, what does that mean? We're going to have to try and optimize our trips to each one of these systems. So far, my ship can only make it to these first systems here. Demetrium and Stellium. Due to warp range, but it's a good thing because my ship can barely take the hostiles here. I'm still working on crews and research and whatnot. So you'll hit in these regular systems, and then you see these little token symbols. Those are the token systems. So like last month, where we just go all day long, if you had enough titanium and whatnot for repairs, you could go as much as you wanted, get all the loot you wanted, spend all day really if you want to. So maybe that's part of the reason they don't want us spending all day, and I don't want to spend all day here either. Okay, so you'll go there, and then you're going to hit these new hostiles. Now let's talk about the hostiles. Let's see here. So this, I want to start. Okay, I have got the cruisers up here. So there's two types. You've got the interceptors and then these cruisers, which are the battleships. So you've got the cruiser, which this should be the interceptor. Yep, interceptor. So two abilities. This hostile has 10 shots per weapon. So we've got the firing pattern here. Kinetic, kinetic, kinetic. 3 kinetic weapons right here. All firing 10 shots. And your ship ability is going to help reduce that so you don't get hit as much. So you really need the Enterprise to fight these. Okay, so it's going to reduce those shots per round. Then it has an energy weapon that fires. I'm guessing I need to look at the logs. I'm guessing this last one is the go home cannon, maybe. Anyways, so it's going to ignore your player shields like the regular Xindi. Be like water at the start of the round. This also reduces the player's critical hit damage by 25,000% for 2 rounds. So you're really going to need that critical floor. I'm in the boat where I didn't buy the Prime. Maybe you haven't. I don't know if you have. It doesn't apply as much, but if not, something you're going to want to focus on getting and maxing. All right. So at the end of every round, the ship fires 9 shots from its super weapon that deals lethal damage to the enemy player ship. So you don't defeat it soon enough, the battle lasts too long, then you're going to die. Okay, let's compare that with the battleship here. Strength here, 10 shots per weapon, ignore your shields, 2,500, 2,500% for 2 rounds. But the thing we want to focus on here that's important to recognize is this one here. At the start of combat, this hostile has a 30% chance to fire its heavy artillery on the 5th weapon of each round. This thing will do massive damage. Let's hop back over into my battle reports, and I hit quite a few, so I'm going to have to scroll down and find it for you. Did my events for the day after this. Okay, so where are the cruisers? So you can see I died on the cruisers oftentimes. Okay, so here's I guess the big difference here, if you read the patch notes, if you talked with anyone, is that the cruisers are going to drop a lot more loot, a ton more loot, but they seem to have this gamble sort of thing in this arc, right? So the gamble here is that if you hit the cruiser, you gamble on the fact that you're going to beat it. If you don't, you get hit pretty hard. So let me show you a victory, and we'll just look really quickly here. So I got 4,931, and you still get Xindi scraps there too. But, oh, by the way, my crews are what I thought might work. Let me try and find Xindi warship. Nope, that's the wrong one. Well, anyways, as you look at them, you'll see that you get a lot more loot from hitting these. Okay, so let me look again. So 4931, this is the interceptor. Apologize, let me find. Interceptor. There we go. There's the battleship. Okay, there's the one I lost. Sorry. I believe it was that one. So, okay, so it's got the skull, it looks like, for the battleships. That's good to know. Sorry I didn't catch that earlier. So, 46,000. I was like, why is it so low? It seems like it should be higher. So, you get a ton. What's that, like 10 times the loot? I mean, it's significant. Okay, if we look at the battle log, it's doing 100,000 damage, 84, 3 point, call that 3 million. That was a pretty hefty shot there. So they're obviously doing more damage. And I think when I was looking at the other one, I think it did significantly more damage. So let's look at the defeated log here real quick. There's 3 million, 7 million. So that 7 million shot just took me out. So sorry, I'm kind of struggling finding all the reports here, but I should have looked at it a little bit closer. But the idea here is that when you look at the regular shots, you're not taking that much damage. But then when you get hit by these big shots, it just kind of takes you out. It's almost like a go-home cannon where it does significant damage. Maybe it won't be as impactful when we get later on, but later on as you're turning up your ship. But chances are, as you go to higher level systems, they're just going to hit harder anyways. So do you take the gamble? That's up to you. Do you take the gamble and hit the battleship, or do you go with the interceptor? It might be wise to hit the interceptor starting off. Maybe you spend half of your hull hitting interceptors just to make sure you get loot, and then you take a chance to hit 1 or 2 of the battleships just to get that extra loot, because you're gonna need some loot to turn in for your loot for the dailies, the daily effect that you're looking at there. So that's what it's talking about here. Battle risky Xindi Aquatic hostiles if you dare. They bring extra challenge but drop substantial bonus loot. Okay. And then you're going to take that loot and you're going to turn it in to your refinery. And this is where I apologize, I can't really show you everything here in the enterprise loot. But this first one, the scrap trade, is where you're turning your Xindi scraps for the tokens. This aquatic exchange, I believe this should be where you're turning in the loot you get from those token systems for stuff that you'll need to upgrade your ship with. These are probably, I think, really important. The Picard refit shard claim is going to help with the strength of your ship and make you more effective. I grabbed that today. I may look at it and see if that's something I'll grab every day. It's probably worth working on. Picard Hue is going to be really effective because he helps with your ship, but there's such a low chance that you're going to get more than one shard a day that it's probably going to take months to unlock that route. The opportunity chests and special opportunity chests, you'll get these from Hostels, the choice opportunity chip. And you have this risky one, which once again, they're going with this gamble theme. But you take this risk that you might get 2,700 uncommon or 1,300 rare or 650 epic. But you also might get 5. And if we look at the chances here, your jackpot, which is the highest, is a 2% chance. You have the 68 for the medium or lucky, I would say. And almost a third chance that you're going to get just 5. So we'll have to kind of map it out and see. The safe one, you're kind of guaranteed to get these. Yep, it just guaranteed, it looks like. And it will improve as you go up. So that's going to be up to you if you want to kind of risk it. I did that a couple times today. I don't think I got any 5 shards or 5 credits, but still, it's tough. And then this one here looks like this has a cooldown as well. So just something that you want to think about when you're doing your turn-ins. Okay, so what are some other things that we have here? Okay, so that's the turn-ins. Last thing I want to look at here are the favors. So in order to make your ship more effective, stronger, I would hop into the favors. Now, for farming the Xindi loot for the scraps, you're still going to need to do that for the Xindi scraps to get your tokens. And as I said, I'm still working on, and I think I had, was it 3,000? I had about 2,900 maybe of the uncommon loot this morning. So as you can see, I've got 5245, gotten quite a bit just today. So I still think that work on this critical damage floor is going to be very much in your favor to do that. So you can start putting critical officers on your ship, like Hugh below decks, for example. So your criticals aren't being completely obliterated and you do no damage or very little damage. So that's going to be real important to work on. But I wanted to focus on here. Some of this stuff's going to be tempting, but I think for our purposes of trying to be most effective with this, you're going to want to scroll down here to the bottom. Okay. Now I grabbed just to see what the benefit was. It helped a little bit, but these kinetic storm and energy wave, I think I'm going to hold off on those. That was probably not a smart move. What I think that would make sense are some of these right here. Okay, so specifically, I think these 3 will help out the most. You're going to have some that will, like combat ferocity increases your critical damage, and then combat accuracy increasing your piercing. Critical damage against hustles and armadas, I'm not probably too keen on these too much just because piercing, there's a lot of piercing in the game, and I'm not at the point where I can really do much with the critical, although this will eventually help out. So getting the critical floor will be helpful before getting that, I suppose. But right here, and I say that, but let's look at combat ferocity. So critical damage against hostile and armadas, it scales up quite a bit, so 50% all the way up to 125%. So you'll have to decide at what point that is effective for you. Because obviously, if you do have some of the critical floor, then any critical damage will help. But here's the 3 I wanted to point out in this video. The Enterprise loot. So this is going to increase the loot gained from killing hostiles with the Enterprise. So let's find that here, and we'll show on the video here how it scales. So 12 levels, 3% all the way up to 50%. So this can take a while to max, and it looks like it takes the epic. So you have to decide what's of value to you. But I think you want to make sure you get this, because what you're going to want to consider is the fact that you only have so many trips. Because it's a token system, you want to make each trip count. Okay, so getting this, you can get as much loot as possible while you're there, will be super helpful. The repairs, I grabbed one of those. Let's see how that scales. Right there. So 1 to 12 starts at 5%, all the way up to 25%. So when your whole hit points are below 40%, it's going to heal a percentage of your hull. So that's good. Help you last longer. So I think that's going to be essential to get. And this opportunity chip boost, increased opportunity chips drop from Xindi Aquatic Exchange. So that starts at 10%, it looks like, and goes up to 50%. So you want to be able to last as long as possible, get more credits, and get the loot that you need for your turn-ins. I think for the most part, that's kind of the things I wanted to point out in this video. There's going to be obviously some nuances and things we're going to watch out for as we're looking at things. But these favors, I think, are really going to help. I've already noticed I've started getting some good turn-ins, or good, I should say, good credits. Just looking for the right word. So my uncommons have gone up quite a bit. I'm eager to get my critical floor up as high as I can. Almost a level 3, so we're really getting there. So those are some things to focus on. Last thing I will mention, though, is let's hop over here to field training. There's some field training that goes along with this. I've already done some of them. We look at the top here. If you get 4 levels, you're going to get this ceramic composite, which is part of your turn-ins, and you need that to upgrade your enterprise. As soon as I get 4, I'll be able to get 3,000 of these, which will let me unlock the next critical floor, which is really cool because I'm almost there. I seem to take out, what is that, 21 more aquatic hostels. Okay, and then it's just going to keep going up, where you'll get some benefits there. You got some more items to upgrade your ship, some archer shards, and then rare and epic. And then there's some more goodies there as well. So what do you have to do? You have to construct the enterprise, defeat the reptilian hostiles. Those are the regular hostiles. I think I had to kill like 50 or 60. I just went to a lower level system or whatever where I could go and hit a bunch of those. And these were pretty easy. Spend the Xindi scraps and Xindi bounties. That's through the refinery, I think. And so it really wasn't that hard. So some of these don't look too bad. Spend tech modules. I've almost completed that. Some of these later on, like spending opportunity chips, that feels like, at least today, it feels like that's going to take forever. Spend X board credits. That looks like that's going to take a while. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it won't be as bad as Voyager, where I'm still trying to get the whatever particles. Valmide? Anyways. I don't know. Spending the insignia tokens, I think it was, but those are taking forever. So hopefully this doesn't take as long. But don't forget to come in here and complete these tasks as much as you can, or as fast as possible, because these are going to help you progress with your ship as fast as you can. Getting it tiered up would be the goal, to be able to do more and make your trips more effective. So hopefully that's helpful. There's quite a few things here, and this is probably a little bit longer than I originally intended the video to be, but I'm hoping this information is helpful. And once again, this video is not intended to be the end-all be-all of this is the most efficient way to do it, but it's things I found today that I really wanted to point out and point your attention to and say, watch out for these things, everyone, because these are the things that are going to make your grind more effective. And as we test crews and as we tear up grab those favors and we're turning up the ship, it will get easier. It's just going to take time. Unless, of course, you want to drop some cash in the game, then, you'll have a stronger ship than I do right now. So anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.